Well, hello, welcome back to my kitchen. If you're new here, welcome. I hope you like what you see and I hope you stick around too. So, I hate using the word challenge, but that's the only word I could think of in this instance. Like a hair in my mouth. I wanted to challenge myself to stay grounded, I guess, because I never lose sight of where I am. Look, I can't, I'm on a fixed income. But sometimes it's like, I'll just throw caution to the wind, just grab something. But my heart won't let me. So today, while I was out with the kids, we were doing some shopping, and I said, you know what? Let's give ourselves a $5-ish limit. As long as we don't hit 6, we're still within the limit, the self-imposed limit. And I wanted to include the entire meal. Now, I always allow my spice cabinet, but my spice cabinet, I have a lot of spices in there, but mostly I stick with stuff that I think people would have in their house. You know, onion powder, garlic powder, maybe cumin would be like the most outrageous thing I would add, red pepper flake, thing like that. So that's what the same rules were today. I always allow myself a fat so I can cook things. I don't have to buy butter every single time. So we did it. The entire meal is coming in under $6. I think it's $5.50. I'm not sure, it might be 51, but it's around there somewhere. So we're calling it a $5 meal, and I did the entire meal. So without further ado, let's get it, let's go. Let's heat up those pots, come on. Here's everything you're going to need. I measured out the rice in a 16 ounces so that you have exactly what you would have bought if I bought that 92 cents bag of rice. You're gonna need some chicken. Now, you could use chicken legs, chicken thighs, a whole chicken, whatever you want. I'm using this because my little secret used to be go at the end of the day and you can get it at half off. It would be like $2.50. Well, they're on to that trick now. So now what they do is they put it in the refrigerated section. I'll try and put the little video up I took when I was buying it. So now it's $2.97. So I lost a little bit under 50 cents, but that's okay. That's still a good price regardless. So I think I paid $2.97 for the entire chicken already cooked. You can't beat that with a stick, guys. All right, you're also going to need petite diced tomatoes, and you need the green chilies. So I just went around that and got some great value diced tomatoes with green chili. And then it was cheaper to buy some corn on the cob than it was to buy a can. So, because we're going to serve this over rice, so I don't need a whole pile of corn over there. So I bought 2 ears of corn at 33 cents a piece. And there you go. Now let me show you what pantry staples I'm going to use. So there you go. I have some cumin, some chili powder, onion powder, paprika, oregano, cayenne, and a 1/4 cup of chicken bouillon. You could use water, but hey, why not? First thing I'm going to do is get the rice going, and then we're going to start working on the chicken and the corn. All right, for the corn, you could cook it however you want, just cook the corn. For me, I have some cold water. I'm gonna stick the 2 ears in there, and some of the silks are floating around, and bring it to a boil. When it comes to a boil, I just turn it off and cover it up and wait until I'm ready. It's done. So I'm just gonna put that on the burner now and move on to that chicken. For the chicken, I'm just going to take it out of there, put it in a Ziploc baggie, and just massage it until the chicken comes off. I'll show you in a second. Just let me move things around. So I have found that this works a whole lot easier on warm chicken than it does cold chicken, but it still works. So you just start, just get it broken free, and just start mushing it. Mush, 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 mush. Okay. So the only bad part about it now is I have to open it up and fish out all the bones. It does work a whole lot easier on the warmer chicken, but it's still quicker than picking every little piece off. All right. Let's move on to get the bones out. So I'm just going to pull a little bit out at a time. And pretty much it's pretty well picked over. I'm telling you, if you do this with a hot chicken, it comes right off. But that's all I would do is just finish up the last little bit here. And when that's all deboned, don't throw it away because you can make bone broth out of this. You don't have to make it today. You could just, boop, throw it in the freezer. All right, so we're coming down the home stretch here. I've been throwing like the skin of the chicken and the bones back into that Ziploc baggie that I massaged this meat off the bone with. And then we're just gonna put found another bone. We're just gonna put that in the freezer because I don't feel like dealing with that today. So let me say this. This chicken could feed you 3 times. If you're not a big family, then you'd only need half as much. So you can get 2 meals out of this. And you could use, you can make soup out of it too. So it can get you 3 different things. All right. Oh, I forgot to say this also. This can be served in a tortilla, wrapped up. You could turn it into a bake with cheese on top of it. You could serve it over mashed potatoes, which is always my preference, but the kids wanted rice, so that's what they're getting. And I didn't factor in cheese, so we're not getting that. All right, over to the stove. Okay, pan isn't even on. It's just ice cold pan. I'm gonna add all the chicken in here. Oh, I think I just saw a bone. Oh, no, it wasn't a bone. All right, I probably could have shredded it up better, but I didn't feel like it. So I'll chop it as it cooks. It'll loosen up a little bit anyway. Now I have more chicken in here than the recipe calls for. It calls for 3 cups. It was the whole chicken, so I know that there's more than 3 cups in there. So now we're going to add, I'm going to tell you what the recipe calls for because I believe I have more than 3 cups here. I'm just going to add a little bit more. So it calls for a teaspoon of cumin and garlic powder. I forgot before to put out the garlic powder. So those are both of those things in there. Ding, there goes my phone. Forgot to silence it. So a teaspoon of cumin and garlic powder. There's going to be a half a teaspoon of onion powder, paprika, and oregano. It does call for smoked paprika, but I don't know that every household has that. I do, but I'm just using plain old paprika. Calls for 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne. I know it doesn't look like much, guys, but it scares the daylights out of me. I just can't do the super spicy. Heck with it, it's in there now. We're here now. That's my favorite saying. So we're just gonna give that a mix. I'm gonna turn the heat on now. Just a medium heat. And just get everything moving around in the pan. Just gonna start to warm it through. And as soon as it gets to that, we're off to the next step and we're almost done. Believe it or not. My corn is done cooking. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna run my knife down it and take it off of the cob. So when you see me adding corn, it's the corn on the cob. It's already cooked, it's sitting over to the side, cooling off a little bit so I can handle it. All right, let me give that a minute. Okay, so I have my 1/4 of a cup of chicken broth or my bouillon. I didn't get it all out. Probably could have used a pinch more, but that's what the recipe calls for, but I have extra in here. But let's just see if we need it. Now it calls for 2 tablespoons of green. Oh no, hold on. I almost forgot to add the tablespoon of chili powder. This is where the kids are gonna like it. I'm not. I'm gonna put a half a tablespoon because I really can't take the heat. I'm going to add just a little bit more water to get things moving around. That's just chicken in there, but I just smushed it in my bowl. The recipe calls for 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. So I went in my deep freezer and pulled out what little bit I had in there, and that's what we're going to use. Everybody's always got those bits and pieces. They used to be flat and scored, but somehow they're not anymore. So I'm just going to add what I have. If that's a tablespoon or 2, it is. If it isn't, then oh well. I think it's good. Okay, to this we're going to add, now, we're going to add ROTEL. It calls for green chilies, it calls for petite diced tomatoes, and all of those directions will be in the description box below. But in the meantime, I'm just going in with some, air quotes, ROTEL. Right in there. Should have went to the Dollar Tree because they have bigger cans. All right, so we're just going to give that a mix. And we're going to turn the heat down. Off, I mean. We're going to give that a mix. Let this warm. Let all the flavors come together. And once it's all mixed through, I'll show you what it looks like. We're almost there, guys. Now, you could add cheese. You could add anything you want. Oh, my corn. I forgot I got to add my corn. My tomato paste hasn't melted all the way. Let me get the corn. I'm going to add that in there as well. All right. In goes the corn. And we'll just, whatever pieces are stuck together, we'll just break them up as we go. You really could add black beans. You could add whatever you want. I went with corn because it was cheap. And I like corn. And that's it, guys. I could throw some cheese over this, put a lid on it, and call it a day. I'm gonna add just a little bit more broth to this just because it feels like it's not quite wet enough. I just made a little bit more. I just want enough to move everything around the pan. That should be good. All right, so you're gonna add salt and pepper to taste. I think as much chicken as I have in here, probably could use a little bit more of the diced tomatoes. I think I have a little bit left over in my refrigerator from the other night, but we'll see. I probably shouldn't have thrown all the chicken, but we have 6 or 7 people eating tonight, so I want to go as far as it possibly can on $5 and change. Yeah, I'm just going to add the rest of that in there. That's good. I'm going to look at my refrigerator, see if I have any more. I'm not opening another can, just not doing it.
What is that?
Oh, you scared me. This is like Mexican chicken. I'm going to serve it over rice because we're having potatoes with something else.
What's that?
Yeah. I knew I had some in there. So it ups the cost a little bit, but I want the kids to enjoy what they're eating. Oh, that's better. Look at that. Just that tiny bit made the difference for me. I'm going to taste a piece of the chicken to see how it's doing. But other than that, our rice is done. If you have cheese, throw it in there. Feel free. If not, it's dinner time. Look how much food is there from just over $5. This is the average size sauce pot, I guess. But look, this one is much bigger. My whole hand and my arm, as big as my forearm across. If you had tortilla shells, or the soft ones or whatever, and wrap these in there, do you realize how many you could make and how far that would go for an extra buck or two? We're going to eat it over rice, but that's what we're going to do. But I'm telling you, if you had some cheese to put on this, maybe a little bit more, like something for a little bit more gravy, but we're going to eat it just like that. I added some butter to the rice, so it's nice and moist. I bet you some sour cream on top of this would be fabulous. If you get any benefit at all from my content, you can help me out by clicking like, share, commenting, and definitely hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. We're at the table. So for the picture, I put a little dollop of cheese on top, and then I thought, you know, sour cream might be good with this, so I'm gonna give it a go. I don't really like sour cream, but just so you have an idea, not that it's anything like I'm adding extra later. So look, my cheese even it sat so long it started to stiffen up. So let's just go in. I'm more of a saucy girl. I would like more sauce. This would be good in a casserole. Oh, look. Ready? Mm-hmm. Let's go. Mmm. Mmm. Mm. It's got a lot of flavor.
That's good.
Mmm. I don't think I'm going to like the sour cream, but I'm going to give it a go. I'm not a sour cream girl, but okay. Let me give it a taste. Not bad at all. That would taste good. Rolled up in a burrito and then fried. Yeah, right? Yeah. If it was in the budget, I probably would have did that. This whole meal, all that food you saw over there, just about, I think it was $5.51 really? For all of that food. Wow. That's gonna feed a lot of people. All right, well, let me get the rest of the kids down here, get them fed, see what they think about it. Bye-bye. Say goodbye, Eric. Dinner's over. How did we do? Boom! Could not finish. We are so full, y'all. When I tell you, that is 2 meals there. There is no way, unless you got a bigger family than mine, that we could eat that. And we didn't even wrap it up in burritos. If I would have wrapped that up in burritos, we'd have even more left over. So, let's see what the kids thought about it. Tyler, what'd you think about dinner?
It was great, fantastic, loved it very much.
Eric, what'd you think?
It was amazing. Would eat again.
Would eat it again. Aiden?
It was amazing and I loved it.
Nikki, baby?
It was a lovely.
It was a lovely? That's what you get for pushing forward. Shove Yaya out of the way, right? Yaya, what'd you think?
It was awesome.
Yep. She also thought it would be good if we put it in a burrito, too. Before I tell you what I thought about dinner, the next day I wrapped it up in tortillas and browned it up in a pan. I served it with some salsa and some sour cream. They devoured it. Me, I liked it. It was extremely filling, though. I don't think I needed to, well, obviously, I didn't need to make that much rice. But if they don't eat it for lunch tomorrow, I'll just freeze it and save it for another day. Roll it up in a burrito. I really think that this would be great like that. Even, not even making a burrito, just a soft, like, taco shell, not even pan fried. So, there's an idea. Or the sour cream, or the cheese. There are so many different ways this thing can go. So there you have it. I hope you try it. I hope you like it. See you later. Bye.